been in a bar where a single line in a song turns the whole room into one big shouting choir? That first time I heard Friends in Low Places live, that shouted line landed like a dare. Strangers finished each other's sentences, and suddenly confession felt communal. Here's what most people don't know. It didn't start as an arena anthem. It got there by accident.
Right. It started like a late-night joke. Earl Bud Lee and Dewayne Blackwell were writing for bars and radio at the same time. They gave it that wink that becomes a hook. Picture late 80s Nashville. There was a push for polish, but the crowd still wanted voices that sounded lived in and slightly dangerous.
No way! Welcome back to Ranch Beat, the country music podcast where every country song has a story, and we tell it. I'm James, and today we're digging into Garth Brooks' Friends and Low Places, United States, 1990, equal parts mischief and manifesto. Stick with us. By the end, you'll hear the song and the room differently.
And I'm Sam, here to bring the history, the studio details, and practical listening notes. Quick facts up front. Written by Earl Bud Lee and Dewayne Blackwell. Produced by Alan Reynolds for Garth Brooks' second album, released in 1990. And it climbed to the top of country radio, reaching number 1 on Billboard's country chart in 1990. One-line synopsis, a fight song for the gloriously unglamorous.
Fast. The title gives you the vibe before a note. Friends in Low Places says, I don't belong here, but I'm gonna sing anyway. Listen to this lyric. I've got friends in low places where the whiskey drowns and the beer chases my blues away. It's messy, honest, and strangely comforting. That line isn't just a lyric. It's an invitation.
Let's roll it back a bit. Late 80s Nashville was split. There were shiny productions selling records and a still thriving honky-tonk scene that prized raw feeling. Garth walked between those worlds. He had radio potential, but kept a barroom edge. Producers like Alan Reynolds famously picked takes for story, not perfection, which matters here.
Exactly. Now here's where it gets interesting. 2 lines turned this into a sing-along machine. First, the title line. I got friends in low places. It's short, repeatable, and egalitarian. Second, the bridge flips confession into a dare. It turns shame into company. That one line tells you everything. You're not alone in your mess.
And people answered it like a dare. That flip from confession to rally is what makes audiences chant back. Musically, the arrangement leaves room for that human noise. Acoustic rhythm up front, electric fills as punctuation, and a chorus that's easy to belt.
Who played on the record matters. Alan Reynolds preferred players who could play a part rather than show off. Insert session credits here. Steel guitar name. Drums, drummer name. Bass player name. Lead guitar name. Verify names and fill before publish. Those choices, who holds back, who pokes a lick, define the song's breathing space.
Before this was a hit, it was a demo, scribbled in a bar. Earl Bud Lee jotted the hook after a night out. Dewayne Blackwell tightened the phrasing, and Garth brought it home with a voice that kept vocal cracks and laughs. That roughness is deliberate. This isn't just clever writing. It's personal.
There's a studio story for that. The demo's ending was quieter, but during sessions, someone suggested pushing the chorus bigger and letting the crowd feel it. Garth quipped he'd make the room sing it back. And then he actually did. Program directors started calling in with reports of packed bars and sing-alongs, and the momentum flipped fast.
Hold up. I've heard the label hated it version. Are you saying it was more complicated?
Yeah, I'm not buying they hated it as a neat headline. Think cautious executives, not ideological opponents. Some were unsure because it sounded like a bar sing-along rather than a radio polish. Then program directors reported the where the whiskey drowns effect in real rooms, and caution turned into full support. So, cautious skepticism, then rapid adoption.
Fair. That's the nuance. Live, Garth made the crowd part of the arrangement. He'd pull back the band, let thousands finish the chorus, then slam everything back in. I remember one show where the crowd sang the last line like a dare. It felt like communal therapy. It was loud, messy, and oddly healing.
From a music theory side, the melody sits in a comfortable range for most voices. The chorus repeats and lands on stable chord tones, and the arrangement purposefully avoids competing fills. In plain terms, the song lets imperfect people sing perfectly together. That's production design, not luck.
Quick listening task for you at home. Mute the lead vocal at 112 to 136 and listen to how the acoustic and drums carve space for a crowd. We'll put the exact timestamps in the show notes. You'll hear the band stepping back on purpose, so 1,000 off-key voices can become the point.
For songwriters who want that sing-along energy, write a line people can finish. Keep it short, emotionally obvious, and leave a rhythmic gap for the crowd. For performers, toss the perfect take if a flawed one feels alive. Those tiny choices, phrasing, space, a pushed vowel, teach audiences how to join in.
Here's the through line. This song rewrites shame as solidarity. Instead of hiding a mistake, you shout it with everyone else, and suddenly it's funny, shared, survivable. Country has always turned private pain into public story. This one makes the audience the therapist, the choir, and the punchline all at once.
And its influence is quiet but huge. After this, writers and producers consciously looked for repeatable shout-back lines. You can trace a line from this record to the stadium-ready country of the 90s and beyond. The song didn't just succeed, it taught crowds how to perform together.
Quick recap before we go. Listen for the space in the arrangement, the simple repeatable lines, and the deliberate roughness in performance. Next time it plays, try that mute trick. You'll hear production choices instead of just a chorus. Next time you hear it, you'll hear it differently.
If you enjoyed this, sign up for the Ranch Beat newsletter. We put session player credits, timestamps, and a short listening guide in every episode note so you can follow up and nerd out. We'll also list verified player names to replace those placeholders in the show notes.
All right. If you picked up something new today, hit like and subscribe. Tell us your favorite line from Friends in Low Places in the comments, and drop the next country track you want us to break down, from any country except Thailand.
Thanks for listening. Share this with a friend who loves the story behind the song. We'll be back with another deep story soon.
This is Ranch Beat, where every country song has a story, and we tell it. See you in the next one.